Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 247. I'm Taking Master, joined by
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
Thanks for the banana RPG. That
You're welcome.
really helped my timing.
We all need our potassium and timing.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys, what you've been playing? I don't know if Topic has a question, but Gamescom was this week, so there's a ton of stuff in the news. Well, I guess we kind of talked about it in Gut Reactions, but there's some other stuff that we didn't get to. So yeah, there's that, and yeah. So let's get started.
But seriously though, what is that in the sink? Because that just looks...
I guess we'll start with that then. At Gamescom, it was the dream that Sony would continue their, hey, you guys like to play stuff instead of just watching stuff, so this is available now. And they released something that they just called P.T. It's super scary. I spent like an hour and a half watching Gamer play it, and well, it was weird. I guess it was because I did it right before bedtime, so I was just like, I was actually lying in bed with my phone watching Gamer play this thing, and it is super freaky, and I was just like, oh, I'm so glad that we have live streaming now. That so can we can give it away, right?
Oh yeah, the whole.
Okay.
It is what it's. What do you? No,
Yes.
You don't know it is.
PT is playable teaser. I guess we knew that, but the teaser is for something called Silent Hills, coming from Kojima, something del Toro. I'm sorry, and
I think it's like Guillermo. Is how you pronounce that? Yeah, the director guy.
He did like Hellboy 2 and Pan's Labyrinth and Blade 2. I think was his.
Pacific Rim. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Pacific Rim. That's right, the big one.
No
recently.
tech. We're talking about good movies.
Shut up. That movie's awesome.
Blade 2. But yeah, they teamed up with
Blade 2. Sorry.
Daryl from the Walking Dead TV series. What's his name? Norman.
No idea.
Reedus or something. I think it's. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what it looks like. Reedus.
He's gonna be the mocap voice guy and the star of Silent Hills.
Wasn't he in Blade? Actually,
Was he in Blade? Really?
maybe.
Oh, was
that
he
him?
the guy who betrayed Blade?
I think so, because it kind of looked like him. It could be.
Maybe.
I could be wrong. It looked like him.
We should go see.
To the internet.
But anyway, yeah, it is. Now that I've thought about it in the daytime, it is super cool. It's basically.
Not
Remember,
time.
like, yeah, after I watched Gamer play it at night, I was like, I'm never gonna play this, and I'm so glad I can watch other people play it. And since there was chat and stuff, like, the puzzles in the teaser are really, really, I guess, is obtuse the word? It's just like, you don't really know what you're doing. And it was cool being able to sort of backseat game there. I was just like typing in suggestions like, oh, should you look at that thing? Should you look at that thing? And then, yeah, I was like, we got through that part. It's like, oh, that was awesome.
Oh man, like having you say that, it's gonna be interesting if someone ever like designs a game like built to be like interactive, like through the stream.
Yeah,
Play
that's
like
gonna be
that.
really awesome. Or like with the share play thing, maybe the second player is just a pointer on the screen with voice chat, and they just sort of point and say, "How about that thing? How about that thing?" Because that's what I was doing yesterday. Except I had to describe it in words, like where I wanted him to look. It's like, go back to the shelf with the gouge picture on it. Look up to the right on the molding. It was like,
This does not sound family friendly.
it was man, it's super creepy though. Like a few times we freaked out. Probably everyone watching the stream and Gamer, we all freaked out at the same time. It was so cool.
Pansies.
So Tekken, you got to basically nowhere, right? You went down the
Thanks,
hallway.
Tropical. I got stuck at a door because, yeah, that okay. What happened was Okay, that game's evil. Okay, that game is basically anti-Tekken because not only did I go in knowing it was a scary game, and I don't like scary games, I scare easily, and I'm like, why am I even playing this game? It's free, but yeah, it came out. I was like, yeah, excited. But then I was like, it's scary. Why am I playing this? But then it was like daylight still, so I was like, well, this is my only opportunity because I'm not gonna play it at nighttime because f that. And then I started playing it, and then like after you get through the first door, it's a hallway full of doors. And you know, if you're familiar with Aimless podcasts, I get stuck on doors all the time. So I was like, well, I'm in a scary game full of my worst enemy, and yeah, it's just a giant Tekken trap, and I couldn't get past the doors, and I didn't know what to do, and I was just like, after a while, I was like, you know what? This is a trap. Like I'm either gonna get really freaked out or just embarrass myself. So I'm just gonna stop here and like not continue any farther. I know you're gonna try to do PT and you're not gonna do it to me, and I'm not gonna get scared, and I'm just gonna quit on my head and be like, haha, I can't go any farther because I'm stuck. So just like any other game with a ton of doors, well, this game has like a ton of doors. So I was like, obviously that's like what you were going for, wasn't it? So you're not gonna. Well, I did get like creeped out twice, but whatever. It wasn't. I wasn't like I didn't get super scared, but whatever. So you know, it's like it may have got me, but it didn't get me that bad, and you know. I was able to quit while I was ahead.
Did you have the freak out moment? Like I just
never
briefly
freak out
went over
moment.
your video, but there was a like the door that you were stuck on. Do you know that you can zoom your view?
I did not know that. I pushed every button and nothing was happening.
So you did not have the freak out moment then. So you saved yourself. Hooray! Congratulations.
For now.
No, like yeah, it. So the premise. Well, I don't know what the actual Silent Hills is going to be like. I imagine it's going to be third person if they're teaming up with Norman Reedus. But the game, the PT teaser trailer or teaser, I don't know how to refer to it. PT, the free thing, is it plays like Gone Home, and just like in Gone Home. It's scary, except this one is on purpose. Like, Gone Home was not supposed to be scary. You always think something's going to pop out or something's going to kill you or there's something following you around, but that's not what that game was about. That is what this game is about.
So basically not like Gone Home at all?
No, it feels a lot like Gone Home because it takes place in a house. I imagine, but it's a weird Silent Hill twisted house. So every time you go through the door, you come back out the first door.
Yeah, it's very trippy. I was like, I
yeah,
don't like
it just
this.
feels like
it immediately made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, it's like, is this a dream sequence? Am I
perhaps
dreaming?
you could
going
argue
on?
that it's actually just a really tall building and every floor is the same with slight variations. But no, I think it's supposed to be one of those weird Silent Hill dimensional thingies going on, and it has that Silent Hill feel where Silent Hill isn't really about jump scares, although PT does that quite a few times, and yeah, it was insane. But it is also about just unimaginable dread, and it's just like you have no choice but to go through it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like the game starts off and like there's a radio in front of you, and it just says, "Oh, there's been a string of murders," and like just it describes them in detail of like people being slaughtered by people. It's like, oh, it's like yeah, and the killer's still out there. So yeah.
Like there was a part very reminiscent of that one scene in the first movie where whatever her name was had to go through the nurses. But this one was like, you see what you have to go through, and then the lights go out, and it's totally dark, and you're just like,
oh my gosh.
It's like, yep, we're done here. Nope.
I had so many nope moments watching Gamer play. It was just like,
Nope.
Thing appeared, and Gamer's like, oh man, what's that? And I was like, and I just said, nope. And then the lights went out, and Gamer just walked through. And then the next time, one time you go down the hall again, and it's all red instead of regular colored. It's like, no. But wow. After thinking about it in the daytime, as I said, it's I think the PT makes you feel really clever if you can get through it. The puzzle that I spent the majority of time watching was something like you were supposed to collect or so there's a riddle, and it says, "Oh, can you hear me?" And it's like, "Can you see this sign?" And then I'll wait forever as long as you come to me, or something like that. And it's freaky, and oh my god, why does it have to take place in a house? I live in a house
Well, yes, tropical.
with
That's
pictures on the wall. I was already afraid of pictures on the wall, even if they're mine.
He's like, am I watching me?
That was another thing. Like it's like very primal fear for me. Like I don't understand why I'm afraid of pictures, or just like why are people afraid of dolls?
I think it's more they're just
And-
afraid of creepy dolls because they're just there and they just stare at you, lifeless and soulless.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's eyes on things that freak me out. And so like pictures have really realistic eyes because they're pictures of real eyes. And so I'm just like I've sort of gotten over it, but then watching that I was like, oh crap. It's got Gone Home's just you're alone. And then it's a house, and it's just sort of a regular house that gets more progressively more disheveled as you travel through it.
I think Silent Hill, the room was like that. The fourth one. I didn't play it though.
Yeah,
so I
where
don't
you
know.
keep coming back to the room or
Yeah.
something.
I've
Yeah.
only played demos of these. I've never actually played any of them.
But this one, well, the other thing, it was cool because it's first person. Just like Gone Home.
Mm.
It also had.
Gamer
Well-
got murdered by somebody, by the way. It was hilarious.
Oh, just now?
By some lady, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that part. That freaked me out too. There was a really loud, like, freak out, like, jump scare part later on. And it's just like, wow, this is gonna be.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I know I
handle
can't play again
this.
because like I was walking by one of the doors and then like there's like tapping on the other end and that just even that got to me. Like there's that and then there was like the door getting pushed from the side and I was like like after I turned around to go the other, like,
Yeah.
after I turned around from the door that I couldn't get through like that started happening. I was like something's gonna come through but then nothing happened and then I got scared going up to the door like thinking it's gonna like jump out at me but nothing happens. So, yeah, it's like that game is just not for me.
I think
kinda
the other
like
thing
the
that was
whole-
interesting.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
I kind
wanna
of like
see
the whole
RPG play it,
atmospheric
actually.
thingy.
I want to see RPG play PT.
I played it for like less than 12 minutes. I had so many trigger alerts, or what? Not trigger alert, but triggers of like, man, yeah, this game's gonna freak me out. And it has doors in it, so it's like, dude,
Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
mortal enemy.
Oh, another thing, like, Gamer kept talking about how the sound is really cool. It seemed like it was very directional,
yeah, it's really good.
and so that's gonna be really awesome, actually. Oh yeah, Tekken, you were playing with headphones,
Yep, the plus or the gold headset.
so it was very
It's just
like
really-
you knew where stuff was coming from.
Yep. Like that door that I couldn't get through had like a baby crying, and like I was trying to look inside, but or not trying to look inside, but I was trying to get through the door, but I couldn't figure it out. So that was freaking me. That was freaking out too, because baby's crying are just weird. So yeah, or at least when it's like the only thing going on in like a crazy, creepy room thing.
So wait, are the gold headsets like surround soundy?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, Hmm.
Well, the cool part about the gold headset is that it was built by the people who built the system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a standard headset that every developer can use.
And they can make presets for it if they want to.
Yep.
Make it optimized.
So even the headset's easy to develop for. Yes.
Yeah, there's like a base that you can shoot for, so that makes it maybe a bit easier.
Mm.
Whew. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Like I want to try playing it now because it does seem like, oh, this would be it's interesting even though it's super scary. The other thing I started playing, so I went to another developers meeting, and one of them, basically they were talking about like monetization and talking about free-to-play stuff, and they brought up Supercell which is they make mobile games, and they said, yeah, they seem to do a good job at doing free to play without making people really mad at you. Oh, at them. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I've seen their commercials on TV. I really like their Heyday commercial. That's a pretty funny one. You should go check that one out if you can find it. But yeah, I started playing Clash of Clans. And yeah, they're kind of right. There are many things in Clash of Clans that you can clearly tell it is that free-to-play design, like SimCity Social or Farmville or any of those things. But it feels much more like it's much less abrasive. So, for example, like in Farmville or SimCity Social or things like that, you have like the 3 types of currency, right? But then one of them is the currency that is basically real money. So like, oh, if you want more of these, then you gotta pay us real money. And they don't tell you that. So as you're going through the tutorial for, say, Farmville, there will be times where they'll say, oh, let's hurry this up a bit, and you just like, they tell you to click the premium currency and you do it because it's a tutorial. And then once you get to the end of the tutorial, you have used all the free premium currency that they gave you. And then you'll hit your first wall where it's like, oh, sorry, you have to wait for this thing, or you can get more of these. And then you click get more of these, and it's like, here, 50 of them for $10 or something like that.
Yes.
And like immediately you start hitting that paywall. But the first thing I noticed with Clash of Clans is that doesn't happen quite so soon. In fact, it hasn't happened to me yet, and I've been playing it for the last week or so, pretty extensively, because it's actually quite fun. What they do is they start you off with a lot of the premium currency, and you do spend sort of a good portion of it, but after you've done that, you still have a lot. So I think it started at maybe 700 or 800 of this stuff. Gems, they're called in this one, and one of the things they tell you to do in the tutorial is to build another builder, which costs 500 of them. Oh, so it's more than 700 at the beginning, because I had like 350 some left after the tutorial, and the things that I would actually use them for at that point they cost 1 gem each. And it was like, I could do these things 350 times. This is kind of cool.
Well,
But
they
I
just
wasn't
want to
even
lure
thinking
you into
about
that
that
false sense
because-
of security. So it's
Well,
like, haha,
I
surprise.
mean, probably eventually. But it's cool that I haven't gotten there yet. It's just like, wow, I've actually spent a lot of gems, because it doesn't feel like, oh, I have 3 and I have to hold on to them until, well, basically never. Like 3, I'm never going to use them. And you know what? This game is just taking too long because I can't use the gems, so I just quit. And that's what's happened on a lot of them. But this one is just like, oh, I have a ton. It's like, oh, this thing costs 20 gems now? It's like, well, I have like 300, so yeah, sure, 20 gems to save 6 hours of wait time or something like that. The other thing the game does is, I think it actually tricks you in a way. It tricks you into
I think
thinking
all
that
free-to-play games try to trick you, Tropical. Just saying.
yeah, but like this game doesn't
kinda like
trick you
their
into
whole
spending money.
gimmick.
This game tricks you into thinking that you have control over stuff. So, for example, like in SimCity Social, if you're waiting for something to build, like you can't do anything else. You just have to wait.
Yep.
And
sucks.
you have no control. And even if you level up or you get more levels or whatever, if you build another of that thing, it's still going to take that same amount of time to build. In Clash of Clans, what they do is they allow you to upgrade the things that collect resources for you, and they use really big numbers. So, for example, I think at the beginning I could hold 10,000 of a specific resource. And over the past 5 or 6 days, I've upgraded, and now I can hold like 150,000 of that resource. And I produce it instead of like 300 per hour, I now produce something like 7 or 8,000 per hour. So it seems like I have control, and like as a player, I am improving because I can collect the resources so much faster now. I can build much bigger things so much more quickly. And so it's sort of like you still have these wait times, but it feels like you have control over how long those wait times are. Like they seem to get shorter, even though they're actually number-wise they're getting longer.
He's been brainwashed.
And then the third thing that they do is that in SimCity, you build the city and you make money and you build more of the city, and that's it. Like that's your gameplay loop. And then the loop is slowed down by the incredibly long build times that those are the times where it's just like, well, I'm leaving the game and I don't know if I'll be back because it says I have to wait 2 days. It's like, who knows if I'll remember this game in 2 days. With Clash of Clans, the main gameplay part of it is actually going out and playing sort of it's sort of a real-time strategy game. Or I guess it's more like a tower defense game. So the main game is you're building your base, which is basically you're playing tower defense. And then when you go out, you can attack other people, and then you're playing as like the little minions and you're attacking their whatever defenses that they built up. So it's in some ways it's sort of like Little Big Planet. Like some people, like every player is building levels. And then so there's an infinite number of levels because everyone is building their own towns. And then you go out and you try to beat these towns with the troops that you build up at home.
Do you get anything if you beat them?
So you get more money, and then you can upgrade your troops or build a better town and all these other things. And like I just joined a clan, and the clans, like there are actually clan wars where it's not your base.
Like some game Michael
you have all the
talked
parts
about
from your
on
base.
Bonus round, I don't remember what it was called though. It was like something monster something.
Something monster something.
They had
something.
monster in the title. That's all I remember.
Well,
But it sounded very similar to this game.
Maybe. But it's just the design is really clever. It means like they've built this extensive single player campaign. And what that means is, basically towns in different setups that you can play through with the troops that you build up at home. But in addition to that, they also have it's like the Little Big Planet Imagisphere. It's like everyone's town. So you can go out and matchmake, end up in someone's town, and then essentially that's a new level for you to play. And you play through that one. And then you steal their gold, and you take, you get bonuses and stuff. And it's like, oh, now I have more stuff. I can build more troops. I can build my base better. And then you go find more bases to go loot and pillage. And yeah, like the first few days when I was just building really simple units, like the units now take a bit longer to build. But the earlier ones, it's like, I think 20 seconds for one. And I had 2 barracks. And I could hold a total of 60 of them. So I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes each time I could go out and fight another battle. And yeah, there's just they've done a good job of giving you stuff to do. So it doesn't feel like you're just playing the game when it lets you, and then it's like, oh, now you're not allowed to play. Come back tomorrow. This game actually has, you're doing this thing. It's like, okay, well, this is going to take some time now, but you can go do this thing now, or you can go do this other thing. And then once you're done with those things, you come back and say, oh, those first things I were doing, those are done. And so you can do other things. Like, yeah, the first 3 days, there were times it's just like, because that's what I've been doing with free-to-play. I've been trying to see, is like, okay, how long can you go before you hit that wall where it's like, sorry, you can't play anymore. And I did not reach it the first day. I was just like, oh, I'm tired. Like, where is the wall? Like, I'm never going to reach it here.
So you're actually actively seeking the wall?
Yeah, I want to see where it is. And it was just like, I guess it's probably much later. So I don't. I think yeah, maybe they're onto something. I think maybe other free to play should look at this and say, hey, Clash of Clans, don't just be like, oh, those guys have money and they're advertising on TV or whatnot. It's like maybe they're onto something. Maybe we can make free to play better. Farmville just seems so lazy now in comparison.
Well, I mean, I think at the time though, it was like the idea was to kind of just get that money quickly. It wasn't necessarily. It's like let's make this enjoyable, and then we'll try to get them to spend money because they enjoy it so much. It was more like, yeah, let's get them to spend money, and then if they like it, that's on them. So.
Look at those companies now. When was the last time you heard Zynga as being a powerhouse?
I heard they were losing a buttload of money. I heard that.
I was like, oh, what about Candy Crush? It's like, well, they're still making lots of money, but they're down 5% from the first quarter. And basically they said, we don't know why. We think it's because it's summer.
But Tropical, I don't pay attention to those companies because they just, they're... what's the analogy I'm going to make? They're like... Well, they come and go. Okay, they're here, they're gone. There's another that comes around, that replaces it, and then, it's the next big thing. But they never really stick around for that long to have any type of tenure.
The thing was, like, they were on everyone's radar before PS4 and Xbox One came out. Everyone was like, consoles are done, We remember that time. We were just like, App Store, and they're just talking about, oh, look at all the money, look at all the money.
It's like you all
and
sound
then,
insane.
They came out, it's like, yeah, we're making tons of money. Let's go public, IPO, and then they just like died. It's like, well, why is that? It's like, shouldn't it be obvious why that is? I mean, Farmville is terrible. I don't know why. Like, they got lucky. Somehow people were playing it. Maybe it's because there was nothing else to play, and then they realized, hey, this is terrible, and then they stopped playing.
Yeah, and then like you mentioned it before. It has like the oil spill effect, where it's like after you've had one and you've had that reaction to it, you don't want to go out and try another one like it. So it just ruins it for all the other games.
The ocean.
Yeah. It's like, what? This is like Farmville. I'm not playing that game. Or this looks like that cow clicker, or not cow clicker, but some other free to play crappy game, or SimCity Social. I'm not playing that game. Like like for me personally, it's like after the whole Dragon Age and SimCity, like how they went offline after I had invested so much time in them. It's like that's never happening again.
Yep. See, they poison the ocean. But yeah, this one so far, I'm really liking it. The gameplay is really fun. You like the actual tower defense part where you're attacking people. There are a lot of different combinations and variables, and the thing is, you can't control what your minions attack. You can sort of influence them by where you place them, and they have different preferences. So, like, some like to attack the enemy's defenses, and some like to attack like their resources. But if you're attacking the resources, then their defenses are just shooting at you, and you're not doing anything to defend yourself, and like your troops all die. And then some things can fly, and some things can't, and some things can shoot at air things, and some things can't. And you can upgrade the troops so they get more hit points and more attack damage, and they have different movement speeds, and it's just like there's a lot going on there in the strategy. And you can do really clever things if you're smart about it. Like earlier I had a really clever one where I ended up beating an entire level with just 2 units. It was like I had 1 archer, because I looked at their base and was like, oh, they have 2 gigantic anti-air cannons. It's like, okay, so that's not going to work. Then there's these 2 big cannons here that kill my guys in 1 shot. And then I think like 2 mortar cannons, they have like huge splash damage and do a lot of damage in their own right. And I was just like, I looked around and was like, huh, if I put an archer, like 1 archer right here, I can take out the 2 anti-air cannons. It'll take a while, but it'll work. And so I just put 1 archer. Nothing could shoot at it, and the archer just killed both of the anti-air cannons. And then I sent in a balloon mortar, and it's just like a hot air balloon with a goblin inside dropping mortar bombs, and it's just like that's it. They have nothing that can shoot air, and so my one archer and my one balloon took out an entire base. It took a long time, but it worked. Maybe check it out. It's kind of cool.
I refuse!
Man, gaming industry is just so weird right now. It's like I would just be so I don't think bedazzled's the word, befuddled, if I bumped into someone and I was like talking to them about video games and they just started talking about all these free to play and mobile and like games that are not in the realm of games I play, but it'd just be so super weird. Like that one time T was on the show talking about Zombie Cafe. I'm just like, okay, I'll listen and stuff, but I know I'm not gonna be playing that game after this.
It's just, yeah, like it's sort of changing. There are people on mobile who desire to make the games that they like to play when they're little. It's just like, I don't care so much about the monetization, but I want to make a game now. And yeah, like the word free is sort of poisoned in itself, where if every time like you see a free game on mobile, that doesn't mean free. But that's not true, actually. Some of them are free. So that's, yeah. I think in the future there will be games that are like premium games, that people will just be totally fine getting because they don't want to deal with the free thing. The free thing is really annoying. Clash of Clans, like, I've been very lucky. It's like, oh, this one is not annoying at all. Like, that is very cool. I had no idea something like this could exist.
I wonder how someone that like plays stuff like that navigates the just wastelands of those games.
They probably just play all of them.
To be able to like tell like what's good and what's not, or like if they have to like actually play a demo or something.
Well, what I did,
or if it's all mouth.
I played the Farmville, remember, and it was just like, this is not cool. And then SimCity came along, and I was like, oh, SimCity actually there's actually a bit of strategy in sort of your building placement, and then you just build, but yeah, it still had that constant, hey, tell your friends, get your friends to get you this thing, I was like, and then, so yeah, that was really annoying. Clash of Clans has none of that. Like, I attached it to my Facebook, and I could not even find my friends. It's like, it's not constantly telling me to tell my friends about it. I don't even know where they are in the app. I pushed everything. I can't find them. Yeah, it's really cool. I think that's why the clans work, because the clans are made up of people who are actually playing the game. It's not like SimCity where it's like, hey, tell your friends, and then it just gives you a list of all your friends, like not even just the ones playing SimCity. It's like, come on, that is so obvious what you're trying to do.
It's like, no, it's not. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's great.
So is that all you've been playing, Tropical?
I think so. I'm not really sure. Yeah, the weird thing that happened to me over the last week when I wasn't here is that I noticed, or someone told me that nobody cares about achievements on the iPhone or Android. And I was like, is that true? And I went in and I found out, oh, I have these 3 games that have Google Play achievements. And then I started playing them for those. And I noticed like, yeah, I guess it's sort of true, because whereas trophy values are very strictly managed on PlayStation Network, Google Play points are just like, oh, you beat this level. It took 2 minutes. Here, have 1,000 points. Have 2,000 points. I don't care. Family Guy is like, oh, you did this thing. Here's 4,000 points.
It's like, just take them all. Points for everybody.
So,
point inflation.
Yeah, it's basically meaningless. So good thing I found something that's fun. Otherwise, I'd feel stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. RPG were you even playing?
Oh. Not that you killed Tekken, because that didn't take long. So yeah, I've been still been playing Soul Sacrifice Delta. I went ahead and fought Magusar, and once I beat him, I unlocked more of the in-game story content for the factions and stuff. So I've been kind of working my way through those and whatnot. So yeah, I picked up Fez and Dragon's Crown. Was it this week? It was this week or last week. It doesn't matter. Either way, I picked them up because they're free. So, that happened. And then I started playing Fez for a bit. And this is the one that everybody was all saying was awesome and stuff, right? That one when it came out before and stuff. Yeah, because it's like a perspective
sorta.
puzzler thingy or something.
Like that was the biggest thing. Most people thought it looked cool and interesting, but like actually the reviews weren't that great.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can somewhat see why, but at the same time, though, they kind of the whole perspective puzzler thing is kind of like I guess a clever idea in theory when you're like doing stuff to like cut corners or like rotating the area to see stuff and everything, but playing through it, I'm wondering if it's just gonna get, I guess, like repetitive after a while, since like the only things you could really do is just like rotate the environment, and you don't really have any other like abilities, or at least not from what I've seen so far, anyway. So I don't know, but I've been playing Dragon's Crown as well, and it's kind of like it's very similar to, I guess, other games that they've made, like crap, what the hell's that game called? Wait, it'll come to me.
Something monster something.
I know, right? All of the games ever. It's like
Streets of Rage. It's like old school side scrollers to me.
No. I mean,
like beat 'em ups.
Like their other games are like that.
There's a Dungeons and Dragons one like that back in the day.
No, I'm talking about their recent
you mean like
stuff.
recent stuff? Okay, never mind.
Oh my gosh!
So
like Odin Sphere and
Muramasa.
And yeah, I was trying to like, what the hell is the name of that game? That one, Masa. There you go.
Isn't it the same developer though?
It is, I think. I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it? I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is because they had like very similar art styles. Yeah. I think they're all the same. And if not, then someone needs to sue somebody. Just putting that out there. So.
What are you talking
it's
about?
The same artist. It's like one guy. I think his name is George.
I'll be calling on fire this week.
He is, isn't he?
His name is George.
No, I'm serious. I think his name is George.
Nope. Yes, George. Good job. Oh, yes. That guy.
So is it like Prince, where it's like, just the one name? Like the artist George?
Oh, George Kamitani.
Okay.
Oh dear.
When you said it, just sounded so weird. Like his name is George. It's like you don't
guy.
say.
Well, it is.
Good job. But yeah, it's very similar to their other games. It's just like different settings and stuff. So I started playing with the Wizard, and then I've been collecting teammates. I guess I haven't played online or anything yet. At least I don't think I have, because I just have it. I have like all the characters set to just join in. So I don't know if it's like drop in, drop out, or what it is. Because I don't know. But yeah, I played through the first few levels and done stuff, and then I was like, yeah, it's all right. That was done, and then that was pretty much it.
I really, really, really do like Dragon Age. I mean, not Dragon Age, Dragons. I'm sorry. Dragon's Crown. Like, I remember back in the day when we were talking about, it'd be cool if like they could somehow take the like style and aesthetic of like a Batman game and make it co-op or whatever. But like with this game, I feel like what they've done is I know they have like games like Muramasa and the other one like Odin Sphere, but those are like single player. Where this one is like co-op with your friends, so it's like it has like that old school arcade feel where like you have like like the old school like X-Men and Teenage Mutant Turtle games where it's like you're just you and your friends. But then it's cool because it's like the thing where like people make those games that are like old games but they're current and they're modern and they have like that sensibility of you have all this gear in this game so you can like equip yourself with stuff and there's different spells, different abilities, and then like the story itself is like cool because it just goes and goes and goes. It's like it starts off super simple, but then there's like ooh, stuff's going down, and like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And she's like, oh, I was like, yeah, Dragon's Crown. It really surprised me. So I'm very much enjoying this game. And then just throw in like the 4-player, old school arcade action, and there's like so much more to do. You can like do and everything looks amazing. That's the other thing. I was playing on Vita. I wasn't playing on PS3, but this game, I was like, I know I had heard awesome things about it, and it was on my list, but I saw it was coming free to Plus. So I was like, I'll just wait, and yeah. Thanks, PlayStation Plus, for another awesome free game, because Dragon's Crown, so good. If you haven't played it, you should check it out, because it's awesome. And, okay, there's some, like, weird character models of, like, super ridiculously voluptuous women, but whatever, man.
Although, I mean, it's not like... I mean, I guess it's, like, blatant in the character art and stuff, but, I mean, once you're, like, actually, like, dungeon crawling and stuff, you don't really notice it as much.
I don't know, that Amazon and my team has like no pants and you can just see your butt and it's like, wow, this is distracting.
I just have a sorceress. I don't have the Amazon because I have that elven archer chick and the sorceress, and I mean everything gets kind of lost in the shuffle when I'm like throwing lightning bolts everywhere. So
yeah, like it gets really, really crazy in this game, like the combat and like the bosses and just it's so good. It's so good. It went above and beyond my expectations because I was like, I kind of knew what to expect because I was like, had played some of the other stuff, but then after I saw like what it was and like, compared to the other stuff and like, what they've done, it's like, yeah, this is a pretty cool game. I'd like to see a follow-up or, spiritual successor, like set in a different...
I mean, it's technically already a spiritual successor to their other games.
RPG, this 4-player co-op.
I am a warrior.
Oh yeah, you can like be different classes too. Like the dwarf and the wizard and sorceress.
Wait,
and
so
it sounds like the old school Dungeon and Dragons.
I'm the dwarf.
Oh, okay.
You get to pick your character when you start off, and like it tells you the strengths and weaknesses, and like if it's for like an expert or beginner. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't listen to that. I just picked wizard. Just like
and like
what's the worst that could happen?
And the dwarf has like high like S rank strength and like high constitution. So I was like, oh well, they're like a tank, so they go up and beat stuff. So of course I'm gonna pick that class. And there's also like a knight or something else, but they had like less of strength. So I was like, well, I want to be stronger. So
I am the knight.
But yeah, that was I'm sorry to jump in on your Whatcha been playing RPG, but I've been playing it too, so I just had to.
Have you been playing it too, Tekken?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I have. I've been liking it very much.
I played it on the PS3 though.
And it has some. I talked about the voluptuous thing, but like, not safe for work, man. There's a thing. There's stuff you unlock on the quest where it's like this gallery, and one of the galleries I got was like this lady with like very scantily clad with her panther mounts, and I was playing it at work, and I'm glad nobody was like walking behind me because they would have been like, "What is that?" Girl? Like weirdo, Japanesey weirdo game, and all ostracizing me. So thanks a lot, Vanillaware. But just be forewarned. There's stuff like that in the game. Like, yeah.
They said you're welcome.
So I just let RPG take those for me when he plays the which I forgot the finger simulator game, that one.
Oh, Monster Monpiece?
Monster Monpiece, yeah. And then it seeped into my Dragon's Crown, so thanks a lot, Vanillaware.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Have you been playing anything else?
Nope. Not that I remember, anyway.
Alrighty, so I guess I'll go. So besides Dragon's Crown, which I will just repeat again, it's awesome. You should check it out. At least if you're into the whole, back in the day type of game, and you're just walking across the screen,
yes.
throwing punches, throwing spells or whatever. Yeah. So besides that, that's my handheld game now. So I switched from Sly because I finished it to that. And I did end up picking up the Final Fantasy X HD whatever on Vita, but I haven't started it. So see, I was really close to not buying RPGs. I was like, well, they should have them both combined together. But then it's like, well, it's digital, so I guess it doesn't really make sense to have a bundle for digital. And I was like, but then I was like, well, RPG's kind of right. I shouldn't be enabling them to do this and supporting them. But then I was like, well, at the same time, I'm not buying 13.2 or Lightning Returns, so I guess we'll call it even. And I
No.
10 is the best one. Come on.
Sigh.
And now I can play any
But it was
RPG,
great.
even on the toilet. And it has all the add-on stuff from Japan that they didn't have before. If only it was like the limited edition with the soundtrack, but whatever. I didn't want to buy the physical copy, so I'm cool. And I'll be playing it with the sound off anyway, so because I don't need it.
So disappointed.
So yeah, besides Dragon's Crown on Vita for my handheld game, Gran Turismo 6. They I'm trying to think. Did they have a new Vision car recently? No, they didn't. But there's new events, and one of them was Nürburgring, the 7-minute lap. So if you're up to it, you're feeling for a challenge, go ahead and go for it, and you might win. But yeah, weekly, every Thursday, updating with new stuff. So yay, I keep coming back to it. Let's see, what else? Oh, Ace Combat Infinity. Okay, so it's cool what they did with Ace Combat Infinity. So I haven't. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Slow down. Okay, so Ace Combat Infinity. They keep having new, every month they have a new event. This month it is Dubai. Yeah, it's the nighttime. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. So yeah, it's in Dubai, and then the Dubai stage they actually updated, and they turn on fireworks, so it's a nighttime stage. So now when you play it, there's fireworks going off in the background. It looks pretty cool. And then there's something else they did where every mission, I talked about this, where it's if the middle point, it gives you a critical mission event to do to help your team get more points to beat the other team. And there's these two that they're doing more often now that used to randomly appear extremely rarely, and it's the cruise missiles from hitting the city, and then the meteors. I haven't done the meteors one yet, but I did the cruise missile one, and it was in Dubai. And then both of the teams couldn't stop all the cruise missiles, and then they hit the city, and then it changes the animation to where it's on fire and stuff. It's all dark and oh, so that was kind of crazy. I didn't expect that to happen. And then they had PvP, but I didn't check it out because I was Stranger Danger PvP, no thank you. See, I'm trying to think of a slogan for PvP. I'm I had it before the podcast. I forgot it, but it was something PvP. I don't want. It was weird. Anyway, yeah.
Sheesh. PvP. I don't want something.
Monsters. Something. Monsters. Something.
Just rolls off the tongue.
PvP. I don't want you on me. Stop it and go be someone's homie. Okay. Yeah. But
Wow. Just wow.
So I didn't check that out, and then they had some other, and then it's cool because they have limited events where it's every weekend. I think they'll have if you log in and you play, they'll do rankings of however many points you get on the sorties, and then if you get high enough, you'll get a special emblem, a special prize, and then extra credits and other stuff. So, but then even if you don't get in the top tier, you can still get other cool stuff. Because I got 15,000 credits and a bunch of the aircraft thingies that let you get the planes leveled up faster, or not leveled up, but where you can unlock them faster. So that's cool. Still working on the F-22, but basically right now I'm trying to get my rank up to captain because that's where I'm at now. I can't progress any farther into the unlocks to the plane I want to get until I get that rank that I haven't been playing because of Mass Effect. So still level 13, first lieutenant or something. So. But yeah, Ace Combat Infinity, still fun, still awesome. Oh, and they also have random, or they keep it's cool because they keep adding stuff, and it's or not keep adding stuff, but as far as rewards. So it's if you're playing and you get through a sortie, they'll randomly there's a chance to randomly get a free plane of a certain type or whatever, a bonus plane of that's not the normal planes that you start out with. So that's pretty cool. Because I don't know if I talked about this, but when they had the 1 million unit 1 million users they hit that number, they gave everybody a free tiger skinned F-14 or something. That was pretty cool. So they have just random stuff that they're giving away every now and then. This now it's this, I think it's called the Raphael or Raffle some R word, whatever. It's French. I'm probably butchering it, whatever. And it's like got this cool paint on, or a paint, paint scheme on it. So I'm trying to get that, but I haven't had time to play. And then I played a chunk over 1 weekend because I was like, well, let me get in one of these limited thingies so I can get a bunch of credits, and I did. And I also was trying to get higher on the Dubai thingy because I only got, because there's like there's 2 tiers on the monthlies. It's like they want you to get, I think it's like 100,000 points and then 500,000 points, and I got the 100,000 one, so now I'm trying to get the 500,000 one, but 25% there. So if I could just keep on working on it, but then I'll have to put my Ace Combat time and every other game time on the side once Destiny hits. So I'm on a time crunch right now, is what I'm trying to get at. So
are you though? Are you?
And at the top of my time crunch is my good friend that I will miss once I take a break from having the fun adventures, Mass Effect 3. So where I'm at right now is actually the game is on. I haven't been playing while we've been podcasting, but I've been doing something to try. There's a way that you can try to unlock characters faster, which I'm trying to do. And I have a ton of credits, so it's like possible that I might get it, because last week when we ended, I had like 42 extractions. Not for wow. Okay.
Wow.
Take a breather.
Get it together.
Not 42 extractions. I had 42 promotions. I have 49 now out of 60, so I need 11 more. I've gotten 7 since we podcasted last time, but I think I got like 6 in the last 24 hours. I got most of them in like the last day because I didn't sleep. So I just hardcore cracked out. I was like, dude, I'm getting this done. I have to put Mass Effect 3 to rest. Like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, like it has to be done. It's like I don't want to take it out into the field and put a bullet in it, but it's got to be done. And for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of my backlog, it's like Max Box Live runs out, and I'm not renewing it, dude. So we had fun times, and I've gotten, maybe not super emotional, but just a bit. I mean, yeah, I can play it on PS3, but it's like when I'm playing my Krogan Sentinel for the last time, or my sorry Adept, sorry Vanguard. It's like all these classes because I've been playing like the same character in gold matches, so it's like when I went back to like revisit them after I was done with all that gold stuff, I was like, oh, I was like free. I can go back and play silver and have fun, and then work on these promotions. And then I was like going through all my characters I used to play, and I was like, man, I would be able to play them, but I will, but on PS3. So yeah, I guess it's kind of the same, but I'm not sure if I have them all. So we'll see. It's been such a long time since I played on PS3. I don't even know. I haven't even turned it on. So whenever I turn it on, it's always like it's a completely different game. I'm like, I don't have the same progress, and it's just like, oh, and I have to start over again for like the last time when I'm done here. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, just working on my last 11. Well, I'll have 10 more to go here soon, but 10 more, and then 7 banner, and then I will have the best of the best banner. And I got the Nomad one, which is the mass relay. So all those gold matches. Oh my gosh! And I have to do it again on PS3. So, but this time I know what to do, since I was like doing it this time. Or I'm sorry, from my 360 experience, I will be able to carry that over into like PS3 and be like, haha, I did it. So I know what I'm doing going in to like get it done faster and better and stuff. But because I've been like doing like weird things with like certain characters or classes that like I wasn't doing before, and like having them set certain ways, like they perform certain ways. And I was like, oh, I think I cracked the code, or I saw something I didn't see before to like magically become even more awesome. And someone sent me a message. It was cool. Where's it at? On I think I was playing silver, not gold though. But like someone sent me a message. Let me find it. Yeah, this Ricky 1992 person. They're like, you're bloody good at this. Very impressed, smiley face. So I was like, yay, someone thinks I'm awesome. Because I've been basically getting like the top of the scoreboard every game. So I'm glad someone noticed me. And I may have had to carry like a ton of. That's the other thing. This game this whole thing has like almost broken me, because I have had to carry so many teams of like people that not use Metagel and they just die. And it's like, I can only revive you so much, and then if you get executed, that's on you. And it's like, I know you have credits because you just played with me the last round, so why don't you just buy some credits or buy our gem equipment pack? Because I know we won enough credits because we're playing on F and gold. So I'm just getting very. I was like, it almost broke me. I was like, I was starting to get very like, I hate people, stranger danger, F randoms, F other people. Like it was getting bad.
Oh my!
It's like, it almost broke me. I was like, I felt like people were like leeching off of me, and like freeloaders, and like I'm trying to get this banner, and all I'm doing is benefiting other people, and like it's crazy. But yeah, take it. after finishing the gold. I'm back. I'm back and I'm cool, and I'm back to reviving everybody, being cool, and it didn't break me, so everything's good. And I just gotta get 10 more promotions. And I've got this banner, and no more. I'll just unplug the Ethernet cable every time I play this game, so my galactic radius stays at 100%.
That's cheating.
And yeah, that is all I've been playing. I think I didn't check my Raptor, but I'm pretty sure that is. Because I did end up finally getting the extra RAM in my computer, and it looks like it's working because everything's running smoothly today. So nothing is like hiccuping or cracking or crapping out. So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Do you have a question this week, Tropical?
Not really. There's just a lot of Gamescom stuff going on, so that's what's on my mind.
Is that what's on your mind?
The Rise of the Tomb Raider thing was sort of interesting today, where it was funny because at the press conference, it was very specifically worded like, "Oh, Tomb Raider is coming out in 2015, exclusive on Xbox."
Yeah.
And everyone, you're supposed to think, "Oh, they bought Tomb Raider. Oh, that's a big blow." And then but no, that's not what most people thought. Most people thought was, psh, that's impossible. It's timed. It's going to be out on PlayStation in like January or whatever. And yeah, apparently Phil Spencer admitted that it is like, we don't own Tomb Raider. So there is a duration on our exclusivity agreement with Square Enix. So then it's sort of like, well, why did we even,
I know, it's like you could have just saved us all the trouble of this if you had not worded it that way at your conference.
Hey, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, so
apparently there can
unless
be.
you're Xbox One, because that seems to be all the kind they get. Just saying. Just saying.
But people are still talking about them, even if it's not good things.
I mean, that's
I'm
what
sure
I was
they
saying.
would like to have sold 10 million units like PlayStation 4, but
Yeah, that's not happening.
Giving people
They
stuff
suck.
they don't want or doing stuff they don't like. What can you do besides be like, hey, we're just trying. We're not. Don't blame us. We didn't do it. We just thought about it, or we're changing what we're doing now. But we can always change course to do what you want to do because we don't know what we're doing. We have no. I almost said that, but yeah.
I mean, I was sitting there thinking, like, and here we go again, but PlayStation hasn't called anything exclusive, right? Unless it was actually exclusive. On PlayStation 4, at least, like, everyone used to do it before, and it was actually sort of, it was hard to tell. Sometimes they would say, oh, we don't comment on rumors, and then you're just like, well, who knows? And sometimes no comment. It's like, well, that means yes. And basically, like it's gotten to the point where I don't know how they could have used this. Like it seems like early adopters are all very savvy at this stuff now. So, and my impression, and correct me if I'm wrong, like everything that PlayStation has said is that type of exclusive, like timed exclusive. They've said very plainly, oh, these games are all making their console debut on PlayStation, meaning obviously that means that, so they're coming to PlayStation first, and that doesn't mean that they're not coming to anything else. Like it was never sort of implied that's like, no one else is ever going to get this. And even the like Assassin's Creed Black Flag had like the exclusive DLC, right?
Yeah.
But in the trailers at the bottom, it said, oh, it's timed exclusive. And so every timed exclusive from PlayStation on this generation, they've stated it pretty plainly. And yeah, it just feels like people are savvy now. Like the Tomb Raider situation sort of proves it. No one believed that it was exclusive. And so they were in this position where it was like, okay, if people come up and point blank ask, is Tomb Raider ever going to appear on other consoles? What can you say? You can't say no, because that's just flat out lying, and they don't do that. You can't say no comment, because that means yes. There's just like, there's nothing you can say. Like, obviously, well, yeah, there's nothing you can say that would that would not be outright lying that would help your own brand. So it's like, there is no point of saying those types of carefully worded PR words anymore. But it seems like Microsoft is still doing a lot of that. They, with their policies that no one agreed with Connect and all that, like, they've done a lot of that stuff. And they had to take back a lot of their words. And this is just another example of that. I was like, well, that sucks. So why? Why do they do it?
That's why I will not miss my Xbox Live Gold when it runs out. I'll be like, sorry, Microsoft, this is where the ship ends. It was a nice ride, but I never joined your team. I was just, enjoying the fruits of your labor. And and yeah, the plate's empty, and I'm back on Team Sony or Team PlayStation. Let's do it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It makes no sense anymore. I hope they learn. I mean, I hope it doesn't come to another one of these, and then everyone's just like, Xbox doesn't have. I guess it was sort of believable on 360 because 360 did have a much larger install base in the US. But now having the smaller install base, it becomes like, how does this deal make sense to anyone? Like, yeah, we know there's lots of customers over there, but we don't care. We just want to sell to this small customer base.
Man, I wonder what's going to happen if the whole, you can use the Xbox One as a development SDU, a software development kit, doesn't pan out. That'd be really bad.
That'd be pretty bad.
Guess we'll
Who
see.
knows?
It's only been a year, and like a year later we have the whole game sharing on PS4 design.
I can't wait for SharePlay. That's, wow. If that
and
works,
it's real.
really
That's the other
well,
cool thing is like it's like it just gives even more and more awesomeness as like you just get, like when you're getting your hopes up for the PS4, like when it was first developed, like can they do it? Well, and then like it's happening. And it's like it's happening, dudes. It's happening. It's like it gets me all pumped up. all
it's pretty different, isn't it? Like PS3, the first unveiling was like, oh yeah, it has 2 HDMI ports.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do ultra widescreen.
Yeah,
And then
they got
it's
it ripped
like-
out. Yeah.
All of these like sort of miracle type things, and I was like, oh, basically
processor.
very few of those happened. But with this one, some of those things sounded insane. Like, I was really hyped because that's who I am, but other people were rightly pointing out, is this real? Like, can you actually do these things? And now we're getting to see them, and it's like, remote play, for what it is, it works really well. PlayStation Now, for what it is, works really well. SharePlay, like, it's getting to the point where it's like, you hear about SharePlay, and it's like, that does not seem out of the realm of possibility.
See, it makes me kind of. I mean, this is kind of like off topic, but it kind of like makes me wonder if they have some sort of like thing cooking for like PS2 backwards compatibility, like via like PlayStation Now, but they'll call it something different, like PlayStation 2 Now or PlayStation 2 Station or something weird. But it makes me hopeful that it will happen. I will be able to play PS2 games finally outside of like the fat PS3.
The more I think about it, the more I would like it to just be the software emulation, like official released software emulation on PS4.
I know, it's like they can do
And you
PS3.
can just put your PS2
Like,
games in, and it's like, oh, it's working. And then
even more awesome than that would be to be able to play those on Vita or some other handheld, because that's why I haven't bought any yet. It's like that's why I haven't bought any at the PSN store, because I can't play them outside my PS3. Oh.
Man, if these things are technically possible, it would be incredible. This will be a massive, like, super awesome generation for PlayStation.
Speaking of massive, super awesome, is that 10 million units, like, is that like some sort of record as far as like his fastest hitting, or did like the Wii hit it before? Like
The Wii probably hit it before.
No.
Although didn't they
it
did
can't
break
be.
a record for something, didn't they? When the PS4
It was like the
selling
most
something?
selling within the first.
Because it was like something,
month
with like
or something?
that month launch window or something like that.
Yeah, I think 10 million at this point is probably a record, actually.
it's definitely like
Just because.
after all the doom and gloom, a lot
Yeah.
more than everybody was expecting back when everybody was
To
all
the
doom and
internet!
gloom. I remember those days. I was like, I don't know, dudes. I was so doubtful, but now it's like, yes, the new golden age is upon us. Valhalla.
So what I see now is just like it's a record for Sony, but I'm not seeing that it's like a record period.
I think it is like because the Wii. Well, the previous generation of consoles just didn't sell that fast.
And it was always supply constrained too, the Wii.
Yeah,
so.
like the number just was not there at the beginning or through the first year.
Because like wasn't the 10 million number like the number that they kept saying of like whoever reached 10 million first like wins, but like obviously you don't reach 10 million in the first year if you're saying that. So.
Yeah, well, that's what Don Matrix was saying when he was head of Xbox. He said, yeah, that's why they launched a year early. They're like, whoever gets, historically, whoever gets to 10 million first wins the generation. So we're going to get to 10 million first. And
yeah, how'd that work out for them?
But they did not really win the generation. I think it's going to be remembered like the Super Nintendo and Genesis. Like I think Genesis actually sold more in the US, didn't it?
I have no idea.
But when we think about it,
sales
like
back then?
Super Nintendo was the winner when we think about it, right?
I think you might be on some subject because I know Mega Drive did a ton and like it was like really popular in Europe.
Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So maybe it did. Maybe Genesis did outsell it here, but
I think it did outsell Super
hearing
Nintendo.
that, I'm like, no, Tropical, you're insane. But now I'm like, maybe because I had a Genesis and I was a Genesis child, so.
I had a Genesis.
That's why when the console came out, I was like, oh, dude, all these Super Nintendo games I never got to play about that. I've been hearing about for decades, or not decades because I'm not that old, but like years and years and years.
Yeah, I can't find any info on it, but.
And then you can't use it on Wii U. Thanks, Nintendo.
Poor Nintendo. They try so hard. Or maybe they don't.
But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff announced in the days since we did our gut reactions to Sony and Microsoft. EA had their thing this morning. I didn't watch it. I think only Tekken knew about it at all, and he didn't really know about it until he saw a tweet.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like an hour before it started, and I was like, huh? And then like started googling like where to watch it because I hadn't seen it on the Twitch email that I got of like it's going to be streaming here, and it wasn't streaming from Twitch, so there was just some site that EA had set up for it, and I was like, oh, okay. But then of course it was like all lagtastic and crappy during the Dragon Age part at the beginning, and then when they finally wrap it up, it starts to work, and I'm like, oh great, I missed Dragon Age. Well, I didn't miss like I was like I was seeing it, but it wasn't like it was like really delayed and weird and not live. and buffered and just
Actually, for the Sony one, when I was watching what was it, Alienation, it was just all as if they had censored the entire screen, and I was just like looking at colored boxes, and I was like, I think it's like shooting and stuff, but I have no idea. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's weird because like they showed Titanfall and I completely forgot about that game. It's like it just shows how jaded I am towards shooters now. It's like they showed it and I'm like, oh, I completely forgot the game existed because I didn't want to care about it and I don't. So, and they're like, oh, we have new
Which is
content
funny
coming out.
considering what a big deal they were making about it before it was released.
Yeah,
It's like
turned out to be sort of a drop in the ocean. I mean, it sold a lot, but or what they say is like it was the best-selling game on Xbox One.
I bet they regret
that doesn't sound like a.
Oh.
I was thinking, it's like, well, maybe that's not too hard.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's probably not a big accomplishment considering.
What else did they show at EA? They showed Dragon Age.
Then they showed Titanfall, NHL 15, Sims 4, FIFA World, which is a free-to-play, weird, whatever. FIFA 15, Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's weird. It's okay. Subject calls. They showed Star Wars. I'm sorry. Okay. They showed Star Wars: The Old Republic, but then they said something about like over 1 million subscribers. So yeah, not doing World of Warcraft numbers. Just saying. So that was pretty interesting. Dawngate, which is the MOBA, and then they showed the new BioWare IP, which is called Shadow Realms, which is 4v1. And my new not genre, or my new genre I don't care about next to MOBAs of, hey, there's 4 people versus 1 person. Let's play, yeah, whatever. Battlefield Hardline, though, gotta say, they did with the single-player campaign, and I did like what I see. It was on PC, which was weird, because I was like, oh, that's... I know someone's gonna... it's weird, because like, I saw that, I was like, oh, someone's totally gonna talk about this, because it was like, you saw the WASD buttons, and like, all the keys to like do the inputs, no face buttons, and I was like, oh, someone's totally going to be talking about this, but then didn't see anybody talk about it, so yeah. But it does look really good. It's like open, well, not open world, but very like open and non-linear, as far as like, I guess like, you know, kind of like what's that game called, Dishonored, where it's like, you know, you don't have just like the one way to do something. There's like multiple things to do, because it's cool. But so there's this one part, they open up like how you get captured, and you're like, you know, whatever, undercover, whatever. And then you break out of your little cell under like the surface with your buddy who you went there with, and then before you break out, you have the option to like be non-lethal and like just take dudes down non-lethally. Sorry, getting excited. Or you can just like go in guns blazing or whatever, shoot up the room, and then after they get to the surface, and it's like you're talking to your NPC dude, and he's like, or you're basically there's a conversation you two have, and then like your player character is like, well, there's that tower over there, and then the NPC dude's like, oh, there's that gate over there that we can go under, and then your dude's like, or we could just go in guns blazing, and it's like, oh, so there's like, you know, open choice here to like, oh, how am I going to approach the situation? And then it was cool. They showed this part when you flash your badge and you can like dissolve situations that way instead of having to just like shoot up dudes or like take them out non-lethally. That was pretty cool. Since you're a cop, and be like, hey, I'm a cop. What's going on here? And then it's a taser. You can tase dudes, so that's another non-lethal option. I gotta say, I thought that was a neat thing, because like, you know, that's something I don't think about. That's like hasn't been in a lot of games, as far as like it's an option on the table as far as like non-lethal takedowns, and like it's not seen very often. Not seen often. You just see like tranquilizers and like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And then oh, and then it showed the grappling, as far as like from the multiplayer, when like they had all those grappling hooks. They used it in the single player demo. It was like he shot up to this tower, and then he shot to like the escape car. It was like, so they're actually using stuff from that. But then I remember when they showed it first, they like said it was going to be episodic, so they didn't say anything about that. But it did look good. I was like, oh, okay, that actually impressed me. Like, I was super down on this game, and like just another dude bro shooter or whatever. But no, I'm kind of, if they like release that standalone for like cheaper digitally, I would totally pick it up without the multiplayer, because I'd play that. So do that, EA, if you're listening. I mean, I know you had to dump Bricatello. He'd probably do something like that, because he knows what he's doing. But you know, if you're listening and you want some money, just saying, throwing it out there. Oh, and they showed two new multiplayer modes, which were Hotwire, where you're like in cars shooting at each other across the stage, and then Rescue, which is similar to the Rainbow Six Siege, pretty much.
Yeah. It's their esports mode.
Yeah, that's weird.
They said that too. Geared towards esports.
It's like, what does that even mean?
Well, I think in this situation, it just means it is more strategic and not so crazy, because you don't respawn.
Everybody has one life. That's like, oh,
yeah,
that's what that means.
So maybe people will be able to understand it.
Yeah, there wasn't a commentator, so you know. Not that you need one when it's that basic of, oh, here's the hostage, there's the good guys and there's the bad guys. Yeah.
It wasn't a live demo either. It was a trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point.
So that's good.
But yeah, that's what they showed.
Cool. Later today, they also showed another gameplay demo of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Did you see that one?
I did not. I was angry because I saw it on the schedule for the stream, and I didn't know it was going to happen. And I thought it was. I thought it was yesterday. I didn't know it was today. I was like, oh, I missed it. But whatever. I guess I'll watch the archive. Did you watch it?
I watched it. There's a lot more of Konami, or sorry, not Kojima's sort of quirkiness. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Like the horse. He was riding the horse, and then the horse like pooped on the road.
That happened.
And then like, yeah, but this time. The poop like made a Jeep spin out and knocked out the two guys in it.
Whatever.
And then he attached a Fulton balloon to the back of the Jeep and like took the Jeep.
Physics.
And then it's cool, like, because in the other games, I think like the Fulton balloon basically was just like an animation. You know, like other soldiers don't actually see a soldier getting pulled up by a balloon. It's just something for the player to see. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I captured that guy. But in Metal Gear Solid 5, the Fulton balloon stuff is real in the world. So I think in a previous demo they showed that you could, if you're standing on a container and you put a Fulton balloon on it, it will lift you up into the air as well, standing on top of the container.
I think they showed that at E3, like they said it like would take you back to your base.
Yeah.
You get back that way.
In this one, what he did was like there was an attack chopper above, and he put some C4 like
oh man
explosives on a Jeep, and then Fulton ballooned it up to the helicopter, and then detonated. And took out the helicopter. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
See, this is like why I'm kind of glad MGS5s exist, even though we didn't need it. Is like they can just like keep doing weird, quirky stuff with it, like in the realm of that, what that game does when you're doing stuff, of how it works.
Yeah.
Of infiltration and just our technical espionage action, but now with Fulton and weird.
It's really funny.
Horses and cardboard boxes with ladies on them. And sheep.
Classic Metal Gear.
They did the cardboard box thing again.
It's so funny because like the past version of the cardboard box is so much more advanced than the modern version of it. It's like, what happened? Snake just didn't have it. He wasn't a big boss. He didn't, think of all that stuff that you do with it.
Nah, people aren't recycling as much as they used to, so the box quality's gone down. It's like, we just have to give him a cheap version of it. Oh.
Well, I guess in the previous games he had to procure everything on site.
Oh yeah, that's right, OSP.
And so now with Metal Gear Solid 5, he has a base and stuff, so he can bring fancy. It's like we cut out this magazine poster and stuck it on the box.
Top of the line cardboard box.
It's like, now mind you, they have like all kind of high tech things and whatnot. And
I know that. Like, I just laughed so hard when they had that soldier. It was like that doesn't even look graphic. That doesn't even you would not be confused by that if you saw it in the desert.
It's almost like a James Bond scene when he's like getting his gadgets or something, and then he gets to the one thing and he's like, "Well, what does this one do?" And he's like, "It's like, oh." I feel like that's kind of how
Snake
that
was like, I can use this, and took it with him anyways.
It's like, so what does this do? It's just a cardboard box, Snake. I just packed my things and moved in here like yesterday. You were here.
Box? Like, perfect.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be fun. They announced that actually that's going to come out on PC and Steam.
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
As well as Ground Zeroes. So Ground Zeroes will also be on Steam.
I saw it, I think conflicted, and I'm like, oh no, this is where the line is going to be drawn. Of do I wait for the Steam box or do I get it on PS4? I don't know, but I already got my PS4. Sorry, Val, you missed your chance, dudes, and third-party PC people.
Are they doing like a bundle for those?
Ship has sold. There's one of the controllers
for Metal Gear.
For the with that prequel one and the actual game.
Hard to say.
Separately still.
I mean, I think it might be possible that Ground Zeroes will just be part of the Phantom Pain. Sort of like how you got that tanker section as the demo for Metal Gear Solid 2.
That's a good point.
Oh, I see.
Maybe. I have no idea. Right now,
I'm not sure how people would feel if they did do that, though. Because it's like, well, then I could have just not paid $40 for this because it's already in the game.
That would be pretty messed up, actually.
Maybe it'll just have like the story portion, and like all the extra game stuff won't be in Phantom Pain.
Better hope so.
Who knows? I don't know. Overkill. They've had a countdown running. Those are the guys that made Payday and Payday 2.
Yay!
And their secret project is AMC's The Walking Dead, presented by Robert Kirkman.
Like, so brutal.
Yeah,
that trailer was like, wow. They don't care. They know what people expect from them, and they deliver. They're unflinching with their delivery of it. It's like, yep, this is the Walking Dead universe. Stuff goes down all the time. We don't give a F. Because you're gonna die, and unless you get shot in the face, then you will not become a walker. Well, you're gonna die too, but you won't become one of them.
You're gonna be like super dead.
Yeah, it's like you'll be. Yeah, you ain't coming back. You'll die, but you ain't coming back if you get shot in the face. But everybody else, we all die because we are the Walking Dead.
So yeah, I guess it's some sort of co-op game, and it's coming out in
That's what has me
2016.
intrigued. I'm like, oh, dude, Ace Venture in the Walking Dead universe. Come on,
It's like, no problem. Just start hacking away. It's like somebody grab me the chainsaw. This machete isn't working.
It's like
I wonder if it
RPG shoots
maybe
bitten.
takes
I
on-
know you can shoot women, so you're the one that's gonna have to do it. I don't do that to people until they've turned, except for that one time in season 2 when I couldn't do it. But that doesn't count because I was a child.
It's
Anyone
okay.
traumatized for life.
But she learned her lesson in the first one, though. She should have been all hardcore, though.
You would think.
Murder. It's the way to go about everything. It's the answer to all life's questions.
Oh my gosh, I'd be so traumatized playing with RPG. It's like RPG murder.
It's like, it's okay. She didn't like her face anyway. What can I say? I've lived a hard life, so reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. What else was shown? What else have you guys seen?
Seen? There was a trailer for something else I can't think of off the top of my head that I saw. Oh, Borderlands 2. I mean, pre-sequel.
The one that showed all the characters?
Yeah. The new one.
See, I'm sort of with you now that they did that thing where it was like, oh, we're not saying it won't be on next gen. And I'm just like, in that case, I'm gonna wait for next gen.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's like so weird because I'm like, I see it, I'm like, this is so weird. I'm like, there's a Borderlands 2 game coming, or I'm sorry, another Borderlands game coming out, and I'm just like so like not on board. I'm just waiting for the PS4 version. Like, sure, you can get it on PC, but my PS4 is so much more awesome than my PC. So why would I do that?
It's so convenient.
If only Steambox comes out, then I could be like, oh, it doesn't run on Linux, so that gives me an excuse to get it on PS4.
RPG, have you seen any of the Bloodborne stuff? Apparently, it looks really amazing.
It looks beautiful.
I saw your tweet about it.
It makes me feel all tingly.
Oh, also, Journey on PS4, man. Yeah, like,
Looks
I saw
really good.
that, and I was like, dude.
It's awesome that they're doing those as cross-buy. So all of
Oh, I
us who
didn't know
have
that.
Journey,
Yes,
we get the
I'm
free
totally gonna share
PS4
about
version.
that when I get it, and just be like, this is Journey. It is so beautiful, and now it's even more. Oh, and I can do commentary because I've had. Yes, it's gonna be magical. It's gonna be magical. My journey through Journey again on PS4.
Journey through Journey.
Do you know, like, you actually get stuff by playing the game over and over again?
I did not know that.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, like what do you get?
There's like things that you can unlock, and there's actually a lot of things to find in the environment.
And
Some of those areas are huge.
I was like, dude, I cannot find all this crap, so whatever.
I've never played Journey, so I don't know. I just hear everybody talking about how awesome of an experience it is, and I'm just like, when people say things like that, that makes me not want to play things.
And the
'cause then I'm
soundtrack,
just like,
cannot wait to hear it again. Oh, so good.
it's like now my hopes are all up, and then it's probably going to be not as awesome, and I don't know. Maybe I'll get it for the PS4. Maybe. But so help me, if it's not awesome, this is all your faults. All of your faults.
All of them.
All of them. Just all of them. So yeah. But yeah, pretty much, I mean, when it comes to like trailers and stuff, I've only been looking at, I guess, like stuff I was like semi-interested in before going in to it. So I only looked at like the Until Dawn stuff and like Bloodborne and everything, but I haven't really been keeping up on most of the stuff. So
Bloodborne, like, what? All you can tell from it is that it looks really good. Like, is there anything that you can glean from what you've seen?
They've just been, I mean, they've had like interviews and stuff about it because they were talking about like the combat system and how it's designed for you to be more aggressive as opposed to like doing the whole wait and see thing with the Dark Soul games. Because like there's like one mechanic in it where if you like get hit or something. Like if you're able to like land hits on enemies like quickly, you can like regain your health back through. I forgot the name of the system or whatever, but it kind of like rewards you for being more proactive than I guess cautious as you would be in like
Or
a
more
Dark
offensive than
Souls game.
defensive.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I like
and
that.
then and they have like and I guess like since it's taking like place in like the 19th century or something like that, where you have like the shotgun and like the whole like Victorian England kind of setting thing. That's not the 19th century, is it? I don't know. I'm not good with history, but it's
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
it's
think
they're
that
gonna
would be
have.
the 1900s.
I don't think so. Well, no, just that would be like the 1800s, wouldn't it? Like the 19th century. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Something. The century's like the one
It's
after or
yeah, it's
something.
weird. It's weird.
So yeah, but either way, it's like but yeah, they were talking about like how they have the transforming saw blade thing and like some scythe weapon and some other hammer thingy or stuff. So you have like different weapons to kind of play around with and everything. But it's gonna be a bit different from like their Dark Soul games, I guess, since it's not as cautious playing or whatnot. So yeah, and I guess the story revolves around some kind of hunt going on in the town that it's at. So yay, witch hunts! I'm assuming is what's going on. So yeah, that that is happening. But yeah, no release window. So who knows when that's gonna come out? And yeah,
Bloodborne?
yeah.
Bloodborne. Well, so I don't know if this is accurate, but at the beginning of that, they said all of those titles you just saw are coming out in the next 6 months. And it was Bloodborne, it was Infamous First Light, and
I have not
Little
seen
Big
any
Planet
like
3
yeah.
and
well
something else.
Infamous and like Little Big Planet 3 though. We already knew that because I mean they already have like hard release dates. But
Well, I wouldn't be
Bloodborne,
surprised if it was early next year though, because Order 1886 got delayed to early, whatever, and it's like in
Did it?
February, so it looks like it could be a first quarter game.
because I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen like any release window set by anybody, even on like their interviews or whatever. So
And isn't
I don't know.
and having those games launch in the first quarter too, like Dark Souls and Demon Souls, like both in the first quarter.
Uh,
I don't know about
no,
Demon Souls. I think
don't
Dark
think Demon
Souls
Souls
was
did because
pretty
that one
early,
got
though.
that one came out in the fall or something when that one came out.
Dark-
But yeah,
Dark Souls,
both of the
Dark
Dark
Souls
Souls game came out early in the early-ish, I
I
guess.
think it's like
Well, no, because Dark Souls 2 came out in
Dark
like
Souls 2 was a holiday.
like
Oh, never mind then.
April or something. I think I forget.
I think the first one was.
Oh man, Tropical, I'm just too crowded. Early next year, too crowded because it's Batman and Order 1886 like back to back in like January, February, or hopefully January, February. If it's in February, well, that's a problem. So,
Oh no, because it came out in October, so it was a fall game as well.
oh no, what am I gonna do if they're both in February? My one game a month plan will be ruined already. Like at the beginning of the year. No. Curses.
Foiled again.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have no idea when it will be released. Hopefully it is soon, because that'd be great. Because, yay, I enjoy From Software stuff. Because I secretly like Armored Core. But don't tell anybody. It's a guilty pleasure. So, yeah.
It's weird that they didn't say anything about Surgeon. Well, I guess it's not weird, but Surgeon Simulator. I didn't know that was coming out like now. So have
Oh,
you
yeah.
tried Tropical, or is it how much does it cost? I didn't even like looked it on the store. Is it how much is it?
I think it's 15.
Hmm.
I have to check.
I was
What is-
hoping for lower than that.
Why, what is it? Is it awesome?
It's like a
Is
weird.
it good?
Cause I'm wondering how it'll play on console, because I know on PC it's like you can't really control anything. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure
it's
how it'll play on PC or console.
it's motion.
Ew.
Ew. That's not Trauma Team at all. Which reminds me,
No,
why don't we have
it is.
another one?
It's more of a dark comedy.
Oh dear.
It's like, oops, that laser should not have gone into that eye, or any eye,
Yeah,
for that matter.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, it's like I'm sure that's not supposed to be a thing. So, never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should go see some video. You might find it amusing.
Will I?
Surgeon Simulator. Oh, it's 10
Okay, that's cool.
for PS Plus.
That's acceptable.
$10.39. Regular price is $13.
Oh. Yay for PlayStation Plus.
Maybe.
Was there any more info about the whole Activision and Sierra thing?
They've shown the games. Like, people have seen Geometry Wars 3. Essentially, Sierra is being rebooted as or not as a company, but as Activision's indie label.
Oh, okay. That's... Wait a minute. I don't know how I feel about that, Tropical. After the juxtaposition of Activision and indie, that gets a bit...
Yeah, it's hard to say, but then, Geometry Wars has...
Something.
I think Geometry Wars was Activision, right? The second one?
That it was Microsoft.
I think the first one was.
But
yeah, later became...
I didn't know it was Activision.
Anyway. But, well, Activision did do that indie contest, and I don't think that game has come out yet. So maybe it'll be published. Man, that would be awesome for whoever won that thing.
Yeah.
My game is being published by Sierra.
Who's owned by Activision and has money.
Unless he or she is really young. Then she'd be like, what's Sierra? Yeah, no, there's been like more info on some of the other games, like the Tomorrow's Children.
Oh, that
is
awesome.
Very, very weird.
Yeah,
it's like
all in game apparently.
Yeah, all that is in game.
I don't believe them. It's not possible.
You Golden Age RPG believe.
Because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this looks all pre-rendered." But I mean, I'll probably love the gameplay anyway. And then I saw Tropical's retweet of that one guy who said it was all in game. I was like, "Lies, lies." So, I don't know.
Well, it apparently is like set in an alternate future where in the 1960s, like, the Soviet Union tried to do this experiment that would sort of unite everyone in a single consciousness, and it failed and destroyed the world.
That sounds terrible.
Did they not listen to what happened with Xenosaga? Do they not see the chaos that caused? No one listens anymore.
So, it's like this terrible future, and you start off as like a worker, and there's like crafting, and you can mine, and there's some system where there's like a mayor that you vote on every day, and the different mayors offer different bonuses to everyone. And there's sort of a shared world type deal. So they gave an example like, oh, if you see someone in the dark and they're working on something but it's totally dark, you can actually hold up a flashlight and then they have light, and then you're like helping them. It's like, oh, what is this game about? I have no idea. Yeah,
it sounds kind of like when they were talking about the gameplay stuff, it kind of reminded me of like Little King Story, because like in that one, like except for the voting on the mayor part, because you are the king, but it's like you have like townspeople who all have different jobs and stuff, and they do their jobs normally, but you can also like take them out to do explorations and stuff. But it kind of like reminded me of that, except without the Pikmin-esque gameplay stuff, because it looks like they have like tower defense stuff going on in there from the possibly in-game trailer. So yeah, but I didn't hear any like release windows for it either, so that also made me sad, because I was like, that could be like 2016 or something for all I know. So I don't know. I'm only half excited.
Apparently, The Evil Within is getting a season pass. $20.
We no longer care about those things. Of course it's getting a season pass. Why wouldn't it be getting a season
It's a
pass?
single player game. Why would you? That doesn't make sense.
Because episodic content, Tekken.
It can only be called episodic if you put it out on a regular basis for like a year.
And maybe they plan on putting it out on a regular basis. That's very irregular. So, yeah.
I don't know. That hasn't really panned out for most season passes, just saying.
Yeah, well, all I have to do is get people to buy it with the belief that they're going to get episodic stuff regularly. Doesn't mean it has to happen.
Batman Arkham Origins, I'm looking at you. ... Ugh. Fizzle, fizzle, fizzle.
Ooh, it looks like Telltale is starting to tease the season finale for Walking Dead Season 2.
Oh, man.
That means it's coming.
That means it's coming soon, in like a week or two. It might be next Tuesday, for all we know.
It could be.
I hope it is, because that... I need... Yeah. I need to know what happens.
Need your Walking Dead
traumatized,
fix.
And, yeah. After this season, I'm totally not playing them until the full season's out ever again. Because the waiting between episodes is just so... there's a word for it I can't think of, but yeah, that.
You're welcome. But yeah, that's why the best way to play it is once it's already all out. You don't have to worry about that. Just go through at your own pace and be done with it all at once. And then, yeah. Yeah. Stuff.
Oh, I guess there was Assassin's Creed Rogue gameplay footage, but I haven't seen it, so...
It's okay. No one cares about Assassin's Creed anymore.
It looks a lot like Black Flag, basically. Except you're a Templar. So you can do things like your eagle vision, because the people you're fighting are assassins, and your eagle vision, because you were an assassin, allows you to see assassins hiding in bushes and stuff like that.
But I thought What's-His-Face was the only one who had the eagle vision ability, and like his descendants or something.
Oh, is that?
I thought that was a thing.
You know, like, the original creator has been gone for so long. Like, it's... A lot of the things that they
liberties were
focused on
taken with Assassin's Creed and its canon.
It was
like, we don't even care anymore. All of the assassins have it now.
One of the things that he talked about was, like, how cool it was that with the Animus stuff, they had come up with a reason why there's a HUD and all that. And another thing he talked about was like, oh, now you don't have to have the camera behind the character all the time, because he apparently hated that. But you look at the new Assassin's Creeds and all the demos, and it's like, well, they're doing the thing that he hated because he's not there anymore and they don't care.
Well then. There goes that, I guess. This is why I've given up on the series. They had such an interesting universe too, and they ruined it. Their shameless cash grabbing and Call of Dutying of it.
Were there any Vita stuff at Gamescom?
Not that I've seen.
I saw Murasaki Baby, but I didn't look at the stuff for it, so...
Yeah, a lot of the Vita stuff I saw was from following that one guy who's championing the Vita.
That one guy.
Bringing all the games to the Vita.
Oh, the
there's a lot...
Corsi guy?
No. It's his European counterpart.
Oh.
His European counterpart.
Sahid, I think? Something.
Boy, you are great with names.
I'm bad with names.
Sahid George.
Oh dear.
But yeah, apparently a ton of games are coming to Vita.
There are.
There are.
They just don't really publicize it as much as they probably should.
A few I remember, Papers, Please is coming to Vita.
Oh yeah, I always forget, like, a lot of the times when they have indie stuff, it'll come to Vita as well, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of that indie stuff will come to Vita.
Oh, did you see... We saw Snow at the press conference, right?
Yeah.
Or the title?
Yeah, it was no, it was in the montage. It was like shown very shortly, briefly.
Okay.
It was just snow.
Snow is
Actually, it was just
apparently
like
yeah.
here's a
It's
course
supposed
for
to be
snow, whatever.
the Skyrim of snow sports.
Hmm.
So apparently it's just this giant open world that you can ski and stuff.
That sounds fun.
I have no idea. Open world winter sports game. Snow.
Yeah.
It's already on PC, so if you want to see it, you can go play it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Well, I haven't had a good snowboarding game fix in a while, so maybe. Whoops! Just closed the wrong tab. Oh well. What else is there?
I don't know.
There's some. Well, there was something I saw, but it was just CG trailer or something, so there's nothing really relevant to like even mention it. So it's like whatever. Not even gonna mention it.
Oh.
But it was something, and it might turn into something, but we'll see.
So you don't care about Shadow Realm, or do you care about Shadow Realm?
I don't. It's PvP, so. Or asynchronous 4v1 PvP, whatever. Still PvP.
Everyone's doing it. So yeah. Because at first when I saw like the announcement for it, when they're like, "Oh, BioWare's new game," and then I started reading the article and I was like, "Oh, now I'm disappointed."
And it's also BioWare Austin, who's the Star Wars Old Republic people, so or the non-Canadians, so you know,
Canadians.
they haven't really done anything awesome yet, so they're still untested. You know, they don't get a free pass like BioWare does. So yeah.
The gameplay trailers didn't look all that great, so. Or I mean, the
And I
gameplay
think,
footage.
I think they said it was on PC anyway, so it's not like it's like wait and see on the console version if it does come to PS4.
Meh. Yeah. Meh.
So I guess that's it for Gamescom stuff, or pretty much everything, because that was like the big thing this week was Gamescom. I'm guessing something happened probably before Gamescom that was like maybe big as we
Totally overshadowed.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That would never happen. I mean, after the Sony conference, my brain was just like, as far as whatever happened before that day. So, whatever happened last week, it was important. I totally remember right now. Well, did we talk about the new GameStop or they're changing their policies or whatever? The tiers?
I'm not sure.
I don't think we did.
Is it tiers?
Because it's like the... Why? It's kind of confusing because it's like it might not be as simple as they're making it sound, but it's supposedly four.
It never is.
So like 4 tiers of like if you bought it, or I mean if you are trading it in for credit or for money, so or cash. It's like if you want credit, you get this much. If you want cash, you get this much. And I think there's like the 2 different ones are like if you're a Power Pro member or not. The 2 versions, which is why there's 4 tiers.
Oh, that sounds unnecessary.
Oh wait, never mind. Wait, we talked about that during the get reactions to Sony. So does anybody else have anything to add before we wrap up this week's episode?
Nope. I just want it to be 2015 already.
I don't. I only have to wait. Well, you too. You're not. In less than a month.
I mean,
you will
sure,
have a-
Tropical, I'll have all these things this year, but think about it. If it's already 2015, that means I already have all of this stuff. And then all my other stuff coming too.
Oh man.
So it's just not it's not fast enough. My gosh.
Well, I think I'm most looking forward to seeing SharePlay. I can't wait to see that. So that is apparently coming out in the fall.
I was hoping it was sooner than later. They made it
Yeah.
seem like it was soon. I was like,
Well, like
Well, I mean, the
usually when
fall
they do
is
the firmware announcements on the blog, it's like imminent, and then within a few days you get it. But this one is a big one.
I mean, the fall is like September through November. That's not far from now. It's not like it's like 2 years later or something. So,
See, I wonder if there's a specific game you think they're looking to launch it just before, because it doesn't really. Or I guess the YouTube uploading is going to be major, so maybe they try to get it before Destiny. Oh, maybe.
I would hope so, but I don't think it's gonna happen since it's in the fall. So,
And they would have to do it like really soon then, because you don't
unless
want
they're doing it like in
your
stages of like, okay, well here's the YouTube thingy, and then like later on it's like, oh here's the SharePlay thing. That, I don't think it's gonna happen.
firmware 2.0 covers the entire
probably,
2
like-
point whatever range.
yeah, I was just about to say they'll probably try to package them together, wouldn't they? To try to ease
Yeah,
up on.
I think it's going to just be a really huge one.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like, do you do it before Destiny and risk it killing a lot of systems, and then
No,
those
it's
people
probably better
mad?
to quietly release it after like major stuff is gone, so that way people can kind of get it in trickling.
They can sort of play
Like-
and lose their systems in
Yeah,
a unfortunate mishap.
Because if you get it all at once, then it's just like, oh my god, the internet broke. So, yeah, they should probably wait. Mostly because I'll have my PS4 by then, so I want it to already be. I want it to come out after I have my stuff, not before, because then I'll feel left out. So, yeah.
Did we talk about the Call of Duty unveil?
The what now?
Call of Duty unveil?
Probably not, because I don't
Multiplayer
like
stuff?
Call
Because
of
they tried to
Duty.
close all blah 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 Call of Duty blah blah.
Multiplayer stuff?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, we sort of.
Well, I know we started it, but I mean, like, you know,
Well,
is there anything
we
that you wanted to,
talked
like,
about it.
say that you haven't
Yeah.
got to say.
Mm, what? I'm
Like,
still
the
waiting
whole
for the co-op
basketball
stuff.
mode.
I want to know what the co-op is.
That's-
There's a basketball mode? Okay, I guess I
that-
didn't watch that thing very carefully.
Well, I heard
like
people
the-
on
where you-
like Twitter talking about it was like similar to like Blitzball or something, and I was like, wait, what? And I went to go
not
look
like
for it, but couldn't
Blitzball.
find it. So I was like,
If
I
Blitzball
couldn't
had
find
guns,
it.
maybe, but
well, I mean, it could. You know, if there are like a bunch of guns all around in the Final Fantasy world, well, the previous ones anyway. There are in the recent ones.
oh, there was that Life is Strange from Square Enix. It's episodic from the Remember Me
Yeah.
developers. That looks interesting.
Everyone's doing episodic stuff now. Gosh. Telltale does one thing and now everybody wants to do it.
Well, I for one like it because I would hope someone else would go for the serious story-driven games as opposed to like, here dudes, here's a game. It's pretty much the same game as last year with some other stuff in it that makes it a bit different. The name's
Why does it have
different.
to be episodic though? Why can't they just release a full game?
Because RPG, they gotta.
No,
It's not done yet.
Tekton. There's no
Games are hard to
excuse.
make.
No, I'm not accepting that as an excuse. No. I mean, the premise sounds interesting, but I don't know. I saw the gameplay demo that someone had like up online, and like the acting sounds kind of stilted a bit, at least to me. I don't know, but it's also just like a small snippet of the game, so that could just be a thing. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be better in the full release. I'll wait and see. I didn't play Remember Me either, so I don't know how good they are as a developer or whatever. Because I don't know what else they made. Did they make anything else?
I don't believe so.
All then yeah, I don't know because I haven't played Remember Me. I've only watched and laughed at Gamer not playing it well, so I, I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
There's also something going on as far as like the Twitch thing and the third party thingy, and they're like, this isn't set in stone yet or something, or we're letting you put in claims or whatever, blah blah blah. So, they haven't flipped the switch beyond the point of no return yet, I guess, on that.
Yet being the operative word. Because if it's happening, then it's going to happen. And there's going to be a lot of sad pandas out there. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure there's like nothing that we missed, but I think
Yeah, we never missed
got a
anything.
new trailer, but it didn't. Yeah, it was just gameplay, so
Why are there so many racing games? Oh my gosh!
At least now you have no excuse if your game doesn't look awesome.
Why would you not have an excuse?
Because why are you releasing this game on this type of platform if that's this powerful and it looks like crap? What's up with that?
Psh, games don't look that good.
Oh,
What are you
Casey
talking
Hudson left
about?
BioWare. I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah. The lead executive producer on Mass Effect series. No longer at BioWare, so I was kind of worried. I'm still kind of worried, but
Why?
we'll
It's just
see.
a producer.
I think he also wrote some of it too, so.
Oh, then yeah, you should be
So it's
worried.
because the original writer, Drew Capish something, and it's a weird name. Okay, not weird name. I mean, hard to pronounce. I don't want to butcher it. That
You're
Drew
tropically
K
it.
something guy. He didn't write he wrote all the first one, some of the second one, but none of the third one. And I think Casey Hudson did something too. But then Mac Walters is like the writer too. But now I'm kind of worried if like he's not writing the one that's coming out soon. Then like who's at the head of the ship? Oh no! So we'll see.
Mhm.
I knew there's something else that happened.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, I think I'm done looking for stuff that happened before Gamescom because whatever.
I didn't even know why
If it
you were
was
bothering.
if it was important, we would have remembered it, or maybe not, because
Basically.
I never do. So
Well, Tropical would have remembered it. So,
I don't know. There's a lot of Sony.
nah, he's usually on top of that kind of
Get my
stuff.
crystal ball.
Yeah, it's fine. Trust me. He's usually on top of that kind of stuff. It's totally okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's totally fine. I have faith in Tropical. He's usually on top of stuff like that. We're good. We're good.
Okay, well, in that case, we can wrap up here and be like, that's it, Aimless Podcast. So let us say our outros and be done with it.
Sure. So, another episode goes by. Thanks for listening. Check us out on aimlesspodcast.com, also on Twitch, YouTube, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe.
Everywhere. So much Twitch is going to be happening this fall. Oh my gosh. Well, not PS3 stuff though, because it's not backwards compatible. But, eh. What can you do?
So yeah, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And then, also check out our gut reactions to the Gamescom conferences for Microsoft, Sony. Or yeah, Microsoft and Sony, because we didn't do one for EA. And yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. And what'll happen next week? Will someone finish a game? Will someone go overboard on their game purchasing? Will
Tropical.
Will everybody be on the episode for the third time in a row, which is like a record or something? After so many people missing. Who knows? Find out on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z.